Hello yogis, welcome. My name is Kim and this is a practice that we're going to just be doing some gentle twisting, like a very easy Vinyasa flow style practice. So a lot of focus really here at the navel center. And what I'd like for you to think about throughout this practice that will be approximately an hour long is, why do you practice yoga? What is it about this practice that makes you feel good? What is it about yoga that makes you feel whole and healthy? And these answers are our intention for today. And I have a feeling that it has nothing to do with what you look like or feel like on the outside, but it has so much to do with what you feel within in a very personal way. And so let this intention stay close to you throughout this practice, with every movement, with every breath that we do. Let this be kind of this moving prayer or invocation for these intentions. So I've got a couple of blocks with me today. So I recommend having those blocks for your practice. And we'll begin on the hands and knees in child's pose. So go ahead and make your way there now. So just come to child's pose and let's take a moment here in this grounding asana to become present. And as you turn your awareness within, just start to deepen your breath. You may notice if there's anything that maybe is still lingering in the landscape of the mind, that you just need to just energetically set it outside the door of the room that you're in. So that you can practice today just in a clean container, or a container that is ready to be cleansed. Let's take 3 more breaths. Nice and slow, come up to the hands and knees into a neutral tabletop. So today we're really going to focus on the exhalation. Go ahead and take an inhale and lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, we're going to sink back to the heels and count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as we exhale, pulling in the navel. Come back to the hands and knees. Inhale, long, neutral spine. And this time as you sink back, draw your navel in for a 5 count exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, back to that long, neutral spine. Drawing in the navel on the 6 count exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do that again. Inhale. But this time I want you to silently count in your mind to 7 as you sink back and pull in the navel. One more time. Inhale back to that long, neutral spine. We're going to draw the navel in as you sink back and silently count to 8. Rest here. Please lift back up now. Let's come so that we're standing on the knees. Vajrasana. Same thing. We'll start with a 4-count exhale and move towards an 8-count exhale. Sweep your arms up by the ears, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, we're going to sink back, hips to heels. Sweep your hands to your low back, pulling in the navel as you slowly round your head to the ground. Breathing in, come all the way up, sweep the arms up. Let's think about a 5-count exhale, nice and slow, sinking back, pulling in the navel. Sweeping the hands to the low back, but if that's too much, you can always bring your hands to the ground. Inhale. All the way up. 6-count exhale, nice and slow. Pulling in the navel. This helps to stabilize the low back and control the movement. Inhale, come up to the top. Sinking back, drawing your navel. 7-count exhale. Last one. Inhale. Eight-count exhale. Rest here. Bring your hands back onto the mat. Come back to that neutral tabletop. Spread your fingers. Tuck the toes. Big inhale. And exhale to downward dog. And as you lift the hips, pull in your navel. Stay here for a few breaths. Just inhale, really reaching into the hands. And as you exhale, pull your navel in and see if you can lift your tailbone higher. Now start to walk the feet forward to the hands, folding over the legs. Bend into the knees. Keep some space between the feet and the knees and sweep your arms up so that you're in chair pose. And we want to sink back into the hips, weight in the heels. And take a big inhale, straighten your legs, reach your arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, we're going to sink back into chair pose again. And as you lower the sitting bones down, start to round over the knees and release your hands by your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms up by the ears. We're going to lean back all the way up to stand. Exhale, lower your arms to your side. So let's move through this dynamic chair pose. We'll do it 3 times. Again, focusing on the exhalation with a 6, 7, and 8 count exhale. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, nice and slow, 6 count exhale. Rounding over the knees, releasing the head and the hands. Sweep your arms up by the ears. We're going to lean back. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, lower your arms to your side. Inhale, lifting high. Exhale, 7 counts. Sinking down into it, maybe a little bit deeper this time. Finding a little bit more space in the low back of the belly. Arms by the ears, inhale, let's come all the way up to the top. Exhale, lower your arms. We've got one more round. Stay with it. Inhale, come up to the top. And this time silently count to 8 as you breathe out and sink like slow motion all the way, completely releasing your spine and your head. Inhale, sweep the arms up. We're going to lean back, rise all the way up to stand, all the way up to the top. Exhale, lower your arms and just pause. Just feeling your body, feeling your breath. Good. Let's get in a little bit more movement now. So this time as you inhale, sweep your arms up by the ears. And exhale, we're going to sweep the arms to clasp behind the back of the left thumb on top. And just roll the chest open. Inhale. Exhale, slowly begin to fold forward. All the way down, bowing the head, pressing the hands away from the body. Now breathe in here. And as you breathe out, release your hands down to your shins. Lifting halfway, take an inhale and bring the chest forward, gaze at the earth. Exhale, sink over the legs. Okay, so we're going to step back with our left toes now. If you want to use those blocks under the hands, you're welcome to bring them with you. Take a giant step back with your left toes and release your left knee to the mat so that we're in our low lunge. We're going to keep the feet grounded and lift the arms up and back, opening up the sides of the belly and front of the hip. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, your hands come back down to the ground or to the blocks. And now let's shift back and straighten the right leg. Draw the toes back towards your shin and slide your heel forward. On your next breath in, get a little bit of lift. And as you breathe out, go ahead and just gently fold over your right leg. Let's breathe into the hamstrings and behind the knee. One more breath. And now breathing out, we're going to bend back into that right knee. And go ahead and lunge into it, but lift your left knee off of the ground so that you're in a lunge. Now let's sweep the right arm up to the sky and get in our first twist. Big inhale, turning the chest upward. And as you exhale, bring your right hand to the ground or to the block. And let's just step the left foot forward and fold over the legs. Now bend the knees. Let's come all the way up. Inhale. Exhale over the arms. Good. Let's do the other side now. So breathing in, sweep the arms up to the sky. And as you breathe out, we're going to circle the arms behind the back, interlace the hands so the right thumb is on top. And just stretch your chest, your sternum wide. Big inhale and exhale, folding out and over the legs. Release your head completely. Inhale, and as you exhale, release your hands down to your shins. Lifting halfway up and lengthening, take an inhale, bring the chest forward, and exhale, fold, and as you fold, draw in the navel. Folding even deeper every time. Now your hands come to the blocks of the ground. We're going to take a giant step back with our right toes and release the right knee to the mat. Sinking into the hips. Let's come all the way up. Inhale. And exhale, just soften into it. One more inhale. Exhale, release your hands to the ground or your blocks. And we're going to shift back, straighten the left leg, draw the toes back, slide your heel forward. Breathe in, get a little bit of space, and breathe out. Fold and release. And just enjoy the stretch. Good. Go ahead and bend back into the left knee. Left knee just moves over the ankle so that you can tuck your right toes and lift the knee. Again, we're in a lunge. Now sweep the left arm up to the sky. Big inhale, turn your chest up. And exhale, lower your hand down. And we're going to step our right foot forward and fold over both legs. Bend into the knees. Let's sweep all the way up. Big inhale. Exhale, lower the arms. Good. Let's change it up a little bit again. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. But this time as you breathe out, we're going to lengthen out and over the legs again, like slow motion so that you draw in your navel. All the way down, your hands can come to the blocks or around your calves. Now lifting halfway up, you can keep the hands on the shin or maybe bring your fingers down in front of the toes. But keep your gaze at the earth as you lengthen forward. And exhale, fold deeply, drawing in the navel. Let's step back with both feet. So hands to the ground, step back with both feet so that we pass through a plank. Now keep your chest open, drop the knees, and slowly release to the belly while the elbows hug next to the ribs. Keep the hands under the shoulders, tops of the feet on the ground, cobra pose. Inhale. Exhale, release the chest down. Good, let's shift back to the hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Breathing into this. Starting to feel your whole body is awake and alive. And remember why you practice yoga. What is it about yoga? Maybe your answer changes every day or every practice, but what is it right now that you love about yoga? Good, let's step forward to the hands and fold over the legs. Halfway lift again, inhale and exhale. Nice deep fold, pulling in the navel. Bend into the knees, let's rise to the top. Inhale. Exhale, lower your arms. Good, let's do that salutation just one more time. Inhale, come all the way up to the top of the mountain. And exhale, slow motion to the earth. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Hands to the mat, step back with your feet. Pass through a strong and steady plank. Keep your chest open, bring your knees to the ground, and release slowly down to the belly in our modified chaturanga. Hands into the shoulders, tops of the feet down. Make sure to keep the shoulder blades down as you lift and widen the chest. Inhale. Exhale, releasing slowly. Shift back to downward facing dog. And as you shift into downward dog, just think about what it is about yoga that makes you feel good. Maybe it's physical, maybe it's mental, maybe it's spiritual, maybe it's all of it. When you're ready, step forward to the hands, fold over the legs, all the way. Bend into the knees, inhale, let's come all the way up. Exhale, lower your arms, and let's just pause for a moment here in Tadasana. Allowing the breath to just adjust, smoothing out. So now let's step our feet wide. Okay, so as you come into this, let's bring our blocks in front of the toes. So this is one of my favorite ways to twist. And this is just a different variation of a revolved triangle pose. And what I love about it is that we can really focus on the navel drawing in as we twist without, overdoing it or anything. We can really bring our awareness to our exhalation. So there's this continued feeling of just letting go of anything that maybe keeps coming up or is still lingering. Let's just set it outside the door of where we are, and we use this power of the navel, our solar plexus chakra, to create that feeling of balance within. So I've got my feet parallel, so make sure that your toes aren't turning out to the side. There's just a little bit of inward with the toes. Legs are straight, arms wide. Breathe in, lift your collarbones. Now as you breathe out, bring a little bend into your right knee. Twisting out of the navel, let's take the left hand down to that block and turn the chest upward, gazing up towards the right thumb. Inhale, let's come back through center. We're going to go that same direction, but this time I want you to think about a 6 count exhale. So slowing down your movement, little bend into the right knee. As your left hand comes down, you deepen the twist. You might be able to straighten into the leg a little bit more. So we've got 2 more times. We're going to inhale, come back through center, lift your collarbones. This time a 7 count exhale, just nice and slow. We're in no rush here. You can always adjust the height or the placement of your blocks if you ever need to. One more time. This time come back through center. Lift the collarbones. 8 count exhale, nice and slow. Bending into the right knee. Left hand to the block in front of your right toes. Turning the chest up. Breathe in this. Good. Now breathe in. And as you breathe out, go ahead and lower your right arm. Walk your hands to center and fold over the legs. Good. Bring your hands to your hips. Draw your elbows together and lift up with your chest. Take an inhale. Now exhale, release the arms. All right. Let's go the other way now. So open the arms wide. Strong legs. Take an inhale, lift your collarbones. Now as you exhale, a little bend into the left knee. Twisting out of the navel, bring your right hand down to your block. We're going to turn our chest up towards the left hand. Inhale, come back through center. So now let's bring awareness back to the exhale with a count. Twisting out of the navel, 6 count exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, back to center. Lift your collarbones. Exhale, 7 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last one. Inhale to center. Our slowest, longest yet. 8 count exhale. Hold it here and breathe. One more inhale. And as you exhale, lower your left hand slowly. We're going to walk our hands to center and fold over the legs. Now from here, stay in your fold. bring a little bend into both knees. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, straighten, extend into the legs, and fold in a little bit deeper. Good. Now walk your hands out under the shoulders. We're going to turn and face back towards the top of the mat. You can set your blocks over to the side and bring your hands to the mat. Let's step back into a strong plank. Take an inhale. Now exhale, you can lower the knees, but let's slowly lower down all the way to the belly with control. Chaturanga. Now hands under the shoulders, feet on the earth. We're going to lift and widen the chest, cobra pose. Inhale and exhale, releasing back to downward facing dog. Bring your knees to the mat. Go ahead and sweep your legs around in front of you. Good. Now from here, let's stretch the legs out long. Hands next to the hips. Sit up nice and tall. Now really pull your toes back so the legs are active. Sweep your arms up by the ears. Inhale. And we're going to exhale and fold out and over the legs nice and slow, drawing in the navel. We're going to do a little movement here with this forward fold and boat pose. Now breathe in, come all the way up, back up to the top. And as you exhale, just lean back slightly, lower your arms down, you reach in front of you, squeeze the heels and lift the heels. Pull in the navel, low boat. Now drop your heels, lift up to the sky, inhale. And exhale, fold out and over the legs. Let's do that again. Inhale. Come up. Exhale into your low boat. It's up to you if you squeeze and lift the heels. Inhale. Let's come all the way up. Lower the heels. Lift the arms. Exhale. Fold out and over the legs again. Pulling in the navel. We're just shining and cleansing that inner gem of the navel center. Let's do that just a couple more times. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, nice and slow into your low boat. Optional heel lift. Drop the heels, inhale, come up. Exhale, fold out and over the legs. And this time, let's come into our low boat and hold it for 5 breaths. So inhale and exhale, come into your low boat. Breathing into it. On your last exhale, drop your heels, lift the arms, big inhale. And exhale, fold out and over the legs. Paschimottanasana, just relax. You might walk your sitting bones back. Soft shoulders. And try to avoid totally rounding in the spine. See if you can find a little bit of a lift in the chest and collarbones. Just finding that feeling of steadiness and sweetness. Good. From here, go ahead and release your hands. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to roll to the back for a moment. So bend it to the knees and bring your hips forward. Lay back onto the spine. Good. So just pause for a moment. We're going to do some movement in dynamic bridge pose. And this really just brings that curve back into the lumbar spine. It's a great counter pose to some of this forward bending and twisting that we've been doing. So we want to make sure the feet are underneath the knees and the toes spread wide. Arms by your side. And let's take an inhale, press into the feet, start to lift your thighs, your hips, you'll roll to the upper back and sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, nice and slow, we're going to lower the hips and arms back to neutral. Let's do that again. Inhale. And just make sure to keep the gaze in center. Please don't turn your head here. Exhale, back down to neutral, like a little massage for the back as you lower down. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. When your hips meet the earth and your arms release, just pause. Good. Now bring both knees into the belly, hands to the knees. Give the knees a big squeeze, maybe a little rock side to side. Very good. So let's keep the knees into the belly. Open your arms wide. We're going to take an inhale, and on your exhale, drop your knees about halfway over to one side, relaxing into the opposite shoulder. Inhale back to center, squeezing the knees, and exhale about halfway the other way. And I want you just to gently move with your breath from side to side, and you might lift your heels in line with the knees. On your next exhale, the knees drop down to the left. We're going to lower the knees all the way down. Use your left hand on the right knee. And just pause here, softening into your right shoulder. Gaze is in center. And if you want to extend into your top leg, your right leg, and slide your left hand down towards your ankle or your toes, you're welcome to. But no force, just enjoy the stretch. Beautiful twist here. If that top leg is extended, please release. And let's bring the knees back through center. And exhale, the knees will drop to your right now. And the right hand will rest on the left knee, relaxing your left shoulder blade. Just breathe into it. Love and twist that we get to feel all these little layers of tissue just in the midsection of the body, just around the trunk of the body. Get a chance to stretch. You can extend into your left leg if that feels right for you. This brings a little extra stretch into the outer hip. But if that top leg is extended, go ahead and release it. And then nice and slow, bring your knees back to center. Drop your feet to the ground just for a moment. Let your arms release to your side. Let's just take maybe a few seconds to just remember why we practice. What is your reason for practicing today? So from here, we're going to bring the knees in, and let's get a little rock up and down the spine. And we're going to get some momentum. Then I'd like for you to plant into your feet, and let's meet in a forward fold at the top of the mat. Okay, so once we come into our forward fold, pause here while I get my little microphone reset. Okay, so from here, let's lift halfway up. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, fold over the legs. Now plant your hands. Step back with your feet into that strong plank, and let's move through a vinyasa. Then you can drop your knees to modify. You can lower down to the belly and come into that cobra pose. Or if it's in your practice to find upward dog, you're welcome to. Really just find what feels good for you. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Good. Take a few breaths here. Now from downward dog, what we're going to do is we're going to bring our feet together and lift your right leg up high. So a three-legged dog comes in. Inhale, and as you exhale, bring that right foot in between your hands. Spin the left heel down, and let's find warrior one. So lunging into the right knee, come all the way up to the top, and pause here. And if you need to make any adjustments in the placement of your feet so that you feel you're using both legs equally, and you can square forward a little bit more effortlessly, just feel free to make those adjustments. Now from here, let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, just bring your elbows to your kidneys and lift your chest. A little heart opener. Let's do that again. Inhale, come all the way up to the top, and as you come up, pull in your abdominal wall. Now as you exhale, squeeze the elbows in, lift the chest, and this will stretch the front of the body. One more time. Inhale, reach up, pull in the ribs. Exhale, squeeze it in and open up your chest. Inhale, go all the way up to the top. This time as you exhale, let's open to the left, warrior two. So I always adjust my back foot a little bit. Lunging into the front knee, turn the knee out to the side, and here we are. Now flip your right palm up. We're going to reach up and back, reversing your warrior. And as you exhale, straighten your leg. We're going to reach out and over the right leg. And you can bring your hand to the shin, or just reach out and bring one of those blocks onto your mat and stack your shoulders. And just find some space here. It always feels really good in triangle pose. And go ahead and extend your left arm overhead. Let's get a little side body stretch. Right, now bring the left arm back up to the sky and your hand to the hip. Bend into your right knee so that you lunge over the ankle. You can keep your hand on your block outside the ankle. And let's extend the left arm up and overhead so that we've just shifted into extended side angle. Breathing here, finding some space and making sure that top pinky finger rolls down. And now breathe in. And as you breathe out, let's circle that left hand back to the ground. We're going to roll onto the left toes. Drop your left knee to the mat. You can use both blocks here if you'd like. We're going to shift back to straighten the right leg. Draw the toes back. Slide your heel forward to that half split like we did earlier. And as you exhale, fold down over the leg. Just breathe into this. And then nice and slow, we're going to bend into your right knee. And let's just walk the hands forward. You can lift your left knee, step that left foot forward, and fold over both legs. Now bring your hands to the mat. Step your feet back again into that strong plank. We're going to move through the Vinyasa of choice. Lower the knees. You can chaturanga down to the belly. You can lift into cobra or up dog. Whatever feels right for you today. No force, no stress. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Bring the feet together. Sweep your left leg high to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, step your left foot forward through the hands. Right heel to the mat. We'll find warrior one. Just making your way up, lunging into the left knee. Back leg is strong like a tent stake. Again, making any adjustments with the feet so that you're using both legs equally and it feels good. Now as you breathe in, we're going to reach up and pull the ribs into the body. And as you breathe out, squeeze your elbows towards your kidneys. Lift your chest, opening up the shoulders. Inhale, extend the arms back up by the ears, pulling in the ribs. Exhale, squeeze the elbows in, the shoulder blades squeeze together, open up your heart. One more time, reach up to the sky, pull in the ribs, the abdominal wall. Exhale, squeeze the elbows in, lifting the chest. And this time, reach up to the sky, big inhale, pull the ribs in. And as you exhale, let's turn to the right and shift into warrior two. Opening the arms wide, adjusting your feet, making sure the left knee points towards the pinky toe. Flip your left palm up, reach up and back, big inhale. And now exhale, let's straighten the left leg. We're going to reach out for our shin or the block. I love the block and triangle pose. And the right arm will lift up to the sky. So just taking a moment here, find some space. Just so much space in the throat, in the neck, in the chest, in the belly, in the ribs, in the hips, even in the toes and the fingers. Extend your right arm overhead. Let's get in that side body stretch. Ooh, that always feels so good. A little bend in the elbow. And just continue to turn your navel upward. The right arm lifts back up to the sky. Drop your hand to the hip. Now gaze down to the left foot and just bend your left knee over the ankle. You can keep your left hand on your block or even bring your elbow up to your thigh if that's too deep. But we're going to have a deep lunge into that left thigh. And then take your right arm back up to the sky, pulling in the abdominal wall, turning upward. And when it feels right, we're going to circle that pinky finger forward and create a long diagonal line of energy. Really reach through your right heel. Big inhale. Now as you exhale, lower your right hand to the ground, nice and slow. Roll up to your right toes and release your knee. Take your time, shift back into that half split. Left leg straightens, maybe the heel slides forward. And when you're ready, you can just gently fold over the left leg. Good. Now, from here, as you lift up and bend into the left knee, this time, let's just find downward dog. No vinyasa. Just starting to come down from the heat and the strength building part of a vinyasa practice, and just now starting to move closer to shavasana. Make any movement in your downward dog, just if there's any stiffness in the calves or in the waist, just making some movement that feels right for you. And then we'll make our way back to child's pose. So just releasing the knees, release the hips, Release your head, and I sometimes like to just rest my forehead on a block. It just feels like a really nice way to soften into the shoulders and the sides of the neck. And even maybe turn your palms up just a little bit and wiggle the hands, or curl your hands into fists so that you can stretch your wrist. And in this pose, we're going to just adjust and start to smooth out the breath. Let's take 5 slow breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4. This last exhale, see if you can breathe out your longest breath yet. We're going to lift up and come to a seated position, extending the legs out in front. All right. This pose always feels really good. This is Ardha Matsyendrasana. I'm going to show you a couple different ways that we can practice this pose. So we start from legs extending out long. And let's bend into the left knee and take your left foot and cross over it the right leg. So the left big toe is on the ground and my right leg's long, so this is option 1. Option 2 is to just lean a little to the right, bend your right foot. We don't want to bring that foot underneath the left hip, so it's a little bit out to the side. So now I've got my bottom leg is bent, and there should be enough space for your left hip to release back down to the ground, and the left big toe stays grounded. Now take your left hand behind you like a kickstand. Roll that shoulder open. You can wrap your right elbow around the left knee. Or you can reach your right arm up to the sky, big inhale, stretching out of the right waist, and exhale, hooking the elbow outside the knee. But either way, lift your chest. Lift up to the crown of your head. And from here, we breathe in. And now breathe out and feel your navel and your ribs. And the right eye gently wrap to the left. Just breathing in, lifting, and breathing out to twist. And this may be just a very subtle internal movement, which is perfect. It's really what yoga is for each of us, a very personal practice of just a deep thing that we do with our time, with our bodies, that brings us peace. Let's take one more inhale. And exhale slowly back to center. Pause and center. Pause. Let's take a little counter turn to the right. Go ahead and release both legs long. Let's go the other way now. So keep your left leg long, bend your right knee, and take that right foot over the left leg. Okay? So planting into that big toe. This is option 1. Or option 2 is a little lean to the left so that you can bend your left knee and drop your right hip back down to the ground while keeping this left big toe planted. Right arm reaches back behind you like a kickstand. Wrapping your left elbow around the right knee, drawing it towards your shoulder. Or take your left arm up, inhale, stretch out of the left waist, and as you exhale, hook the elbow outside the knee. Again, both variations. Sit up tall now. Now breathe in, lifting the crown up. And as you breathe out, turn your navel and ribs gently to the right, and even feeling your left eye roll to the right. Just breathe. Feeling a little rise on the inhale, and a gentle twist on the exhale. Inhale. And exhale slowly back to center where you pause. Counter turn to your left. And then gently release your legs. Release your legs. Notice how you feel. Now from here, please go ahead and shift to the back. Bend into the knees. Bring your hips forward and lay back. Please bring both knees to the belly with your hands on the knees or your shins and hug the legs in. And just take 3 breaths here. Nice, slow, deep breaths where your exhale extends longer than the inhale. And from here, please lower your feet and let your legs extend long on the ground. Widening out the heels, arms by your side, palms face up. Just lay back into Shavasana. And just rest here. Notice where you can soften your body. And give yourself permission to just rest. To be completely effortless, just for the next few minutes. Just going to take your time and start to just bring some easy movement back into the hands and feet. Just go really, really slow. So just stretching into your body. Giving the knees another big squeeze and rock side to side. Just what feels right for you to wake up slowly and feeling really good and in balance. Just as you're ready, you'll just roll slowly to your side, maybe pausing there. Just again, just this feeling of balance stays with you. Go ahead and returning up into a comfortable seat. And let's just find a moment here seated. You can rest your hands down on the knees or in your lap and just close your eyes. A lot of time when we've done this Vinyasa style of movement, it's almost like we have gotten a big rain and the river is kind of stirred up with dirt and rocks, and there's a little bit of murkiness in the water. And by taking time seated at the end of our practice, we're going to let all of that sediment settle down to the bottom of the riverbed so that our vessel is clear. And there's a sense of clear water. And as the sunlight comes back out, the sun rays just shine down to the water so that there's a sparkling. I thank you so much for participating with me and practicing in this special way. And just please bring your hands together in front of your heart, a little bow of the head. And again, I just would like for you to remember your intention for practicing today. And giving thanks to that deeper meaning that brought you to your mat. Thank you. Namaste.